So the opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and the Future Bachelor podcast only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity or anything like that. This fun podcast, though, may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor Podcast. Why?
Get your ad-libs right,
My bad. Waste of time. Yeah, what's up, guys? This is Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
My name is JD.
Whoa!
Whoa! Surprise, surprise! I murdered Veronica.
That's
Just
my
kidding.
job. Usually I don't leave her, let her leave the apartment. But this week, actually, Veronica's not here, and I asked my friend JD to come and be our guest co-host this week. So shout out to everybody out on YouTube. What's up, guys? This is what JD looks like. I hope you're impressed.
Hide my face. Just kidding.
No, but Veronica's on spring break,
Yes.
and JD came to save the day. You were the one that kind of suggested JoJo.
Yes, that was my idea.
That's funny
Always
because
love that.
you
Love
had
that
said
song.
2 songs, and one of them is actually on our Future Bachelor playlist already on Spotify. So this was a good addition. I've always liked that song. I tried to find it on Spotify though, and apparently,
Yes, we experienced some complications.
Yeah, you
due
can't
to
find it.
JoJo's record label.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. You were the one telling me that.
Well,
but-
something regarding, I know she's had conflicts with her record label before.
Yeah.
And so apparently her old music isn't on Spotify, but she
But-
re-recorded all of her music because she got the rights to it.
Oh, wow.
So the 2018 version
That is
on
so
Spotify.
awesome. Yeah.
But we wanted the
Unfortunately,
the OG.
the new version
We
is
found
not
the
as
OG.
good as the OG version. So, but yeah, that was a great opening song. So, JD, tell us a little about yourself. How do
Oh my
how do you
God.
know us? How do you
I
know
know.
Future Bachelor? How'd you get
yeah.
introduced?
So I got introduced through Sai.
Oh, shout out to me.
Shout out to Sai.
I'm gonna do a live.
We didn't work directly together, but we
Yes.
worked in the same room.
Yep.
Like 10 feet apart. For the company.
for the company.
And
yeah, I like how you already know what's going on.
Oh yes,
here. Yeah.
I still work for the company, but not directly with Sai anymore. Not in the same room.
Yeah,
but
that was sad because you only worked there
know.
for like a couple months.
5.5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but in that time, we were able to
Yes.
become friends. And me and you usually would like talk about the same TV shows, and I think we started talking about The Bachelor.
Yes.
At some point.
Yeah,
And
and
I
of
was
course.
like, here, check out like
You
know.
mentioned the podcast. and I
Yeah.
was like,
So how'd you get like? When was the first time you listened? and everything?
it wasn't right when you showed it to me.
I know it never is with people. Like
I
you
know
usually have to
it
come
took it took me a while to get into it actually, and then
What is that though? What is it about someone being like, "Hey, I know you"? What, like to me, if someone told me they had a podcast, I feel like I would be like, I'd almost be rushing to go see what their
Really?
podcast sounds like. Maybe because
I'd
I
almost
have
be
a
like,
podcast.
oh, you have a podcast? I feel like
Really?
it's almost like I feel like everyone has a podcast
Now they do for sure,
You know, I
yeah.
feel like that's sort of the thing, and so it does take a little bit of like when the listener has the time to put into it.
True.
Then they'll listen for
Plus
the
they're
first time
listening to
and then
other
get
podcasts.
investment. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then get invested. So for me, it was like my commute schedule didn't like really lend itself well to like listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
It took me until I had to start writing Marta to work a little bit more to like give myself a designated time to listen to podcasts, and then I like gave it a listen, and
I think
thought it was so
one
fun.
of the times too, I was like, "Yo, we do like the tipsy talks like on Monday when we actually watch
that's
them."
also how I got hooked.
Yeah, so
I-
you were like
I-
commenting
I-
on it. I was
I
like, "Yo,
know.
JD is actually talking."
Like, harass them, Veronica, while she was on
No,
Tipsy
that's,
Talks.
that's what we love. There's a bunch of people that do that.
Okay,
and,
good,
You
good,
know,
good.
so you were one of them, and because of that type of stuff, I was like, you know, I think about like very rarely do we need to like do a guest co-host, or we need to do more. I think guests on here, but you know, you're on the list that I had in my head of
Oh,
people
thank
that you know that are fans of the show, and I loved hearing people's perspectives of
Thanks.
that. So what was it like? You know, as far as it being with Bachelor and stuff, like. Do you think we do a good job of covering stuff?
I
from The
think you do a
Bachelor?
really good job. I think it's good that it's not Bachelor heavy.
Yeah.
I think that would turn a lot of people off, especially if they
We
don't
started
watch.
like that.
It started like that, and I think that's fine. But I think now it's evolved to a point where, like, even if you don't watch The Bachelor every week, or like you miss an episode, like
Yeah.
you listen to me. I don't listen mainly for the Bachelor parts,
Yeah.
but when you get to that, I kind of remember it again
Yeah,
and get
yeah.
excited because I like to hear the recaps.
Well, that's really dope, man.
Yeah. And turns out now I work in the same building as Veronica.
Yes. So have you guys seen each other yet?
I saw her in the lobby and I didn't know that she worked there.
Yeah.
And so I was really thrown off because I was like, whoa, I know you, but like I like didn't realize how.
No,
it was
that's
literally
scary...
only through Instagram and like the videos.
Everyone's
seen of
a creep these days because like you could be like, oh, haven't we met before? And like actually you're just a friend of a friend.
So we really awkwardly like passed each other in the lobby, and I probably did like a weird double take.
Yeah.
But that was it. We have not actually met in person.
You guys gotta meet up for like
Veronica,
lunch or something.
Yeah, let's hang out, please.
I think you guys are just like two ships passing in the night. So but that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, while we're talking about Veronica, actually she gave us a little check-in, so we might as well see what she's been up to this last week. So.
Hey everybody, sorry I can't be there. I'm on an adult spring break with my family because my youngest brother has a spring break. My second youngest brothers, my brothers Jack and Frank, have their spring breaks right now, so I just tagged along to go with them to the Pacific Northwest. But yeah, I'm sad that I won't be on the show discussing stuff with Sai today because I know I wanted to talk about the stuff coming out with Cardi B about how she used to drug clients or men and steal money from them. So I'm sure that will be a hot topic of discussion, and I'll probably have to give my take on that later. But otherwise, I'm going to keep enjoying, this weird part of the country that is completely opposite from Atlanta, but also cool all the same. And I'll be taking some basic pics probably at the original Starbucks in the Gum Mall today in Seattle. So get excited for those. All right, bye guys.
So excited I'm so excited for those pictures of whatever.
Yes.
I started off doing the like sound effects, but for some reason they were like taking over.
The sound effects. They're one of my favorite parts of the show.
Yeah, what's funny is like a lot of people either like him or they don't. Like they're like, oh, they're too loud or something like that. Like someone once told me they hate the kids cheer. I'm like, that's my favorite one.
Sometimes you do it at really inappropriate points, and that's when it's the most fun.
I like the one where you go like,
I like the boing. I like the boing.
It's usually something Veronica said.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, dude, I really again appreciate you stepping up. I know this is a weird thing. I ask people sometimes and you would think that they would want to do it, but like some people, I don't know. It's important to me.
I mean,
so.
it can definitely be stressful for people like me who have no audio. Like I've never been on a podcast before. This is my number one.
Yeah.
But I think it's good for self-confidence.
Hell
that
yeah,
sort of thing.
man.
I've appeared on my friend's radio show in college.
Oh, wow. Well, so you do have a little practice.
A little bit, but it was not a podcast.
Well, you're doing great.
Thank you.
So, I guess, did you do anything cool in the last week? Or?
Last week was not, my last week was relatively chill. But my last month itself has been crazy because I've been traveling every single weekend.
Oh,
pretty
really?
Much. Yeah,
where
which has been wild. So first I went to New York. I visited my friends in New York. And then I went to Charleston for a weekend and visited a friend in Charleston. And then I went to Hilton Head for a family wedding there. And then I went to Savannah for St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
Which
I heard that's
Veronica
crazy,
was
right?
also at, which was funny.
Another
literally passing in the night. In the day. And that was crazy.
That one's a little harder though. You guys are like drunk out there. Yeah. So probably. That's I know, right?
I was waiting for.
There you go.
No, just kidding. It was really, really fun.
That's what's up.
And then I went to Boston right after that.
That's insane.
And so that was the end of last week. So I just got
well, it's funny you talk about trips because this past weekend I actually just I told myself I was gonna book or I had to plan out my next 5 trips.
Oh yes, you mentioned that.
Yeah, so I started doing it, but I've planned a trip to Colorado.
Okay.
I got 2 trips to New York planned out.
Nice.
I'm going actually down to Florida next week. So, and then I forgot one of them that I'm forgetting right now.
That's really good.
I tried, you know what I'm saying? So at least I want to get it down on the calendar too because I've been.
You have to get it on.
As
the
you grow up, you start wanting to travel a lot more,
yes.
but be able to do that, you can't just buy plane tickets on the last minute.
Especially with work. It's
of course.
That's the main thing. It's you gotta give your days
and
off
at work
and stuff.
for me, it's you can't take off if another person on your team is taking off. So it's you have to get those as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man. Well, I guess since
really
we
good.
talked about our last week, we might as well get into some quick hits. Hey, that was good, bro. That was cool. No, she never does that with me, but you seem very excited about these segments.
No, I like them. I like them.
All right. Well, let's talk about some quick hits. This past week, the movie Us came out. Jordan Peele's, second movie, sophomore, coming after Get Out.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be confused with our intro song with
Leave
JoJo.
parentheses Get Out.
Yeah.
That was
Who
Get Out
thought
the
that
movie.
JoJo actually inspired, Jordan Peele?
Oscar winning.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, that was a bad one.
Yeah,
so
bad
that deserves one of these. But I didn't get to see it this past week because everyone's too scared to watch it.
Me neither. No, I'm like, yeah, Us came out, but no, I have not seen it.
Yeah.
I am a little scared to see it.
One of the reasons why I want to go see it is because it's just coming increasingly harder to not get spoiled. I already know a bunch of different things.
Really? You know what I thought was really cool was that the movie itself was leading an anti-spoiler campaign on Twitter.
What do you mean?
They had this hashtag that was #keep it between us.
Oh my god.
That was this whole thing.
Oh wow.
They tweeted all this. I got promotions that was like, if you've seen something, clever stuff, basically saying
that's smart.
Don't release what happened in this movie. #keep it between us.
You're cool if you keep it
something
between
like
us.
that.
Wow.
Yeah, and I thought that was really clever.
Wow,
but,
that's genius.
The spoiling isn't the thing for me. It's just I don't like scary movies, and I want to support Jordan Peele, and especially how progressive this movie is in the horror industry
for sure.
and horror genre.
I mean, honestly, dude,
I
was
can't bring myself to do
if
it.
I wasn't so busy this week, I would just go and watch it myself. Veronica was talking about going to movies. I was like, actually, this might be one I'll just go see by myself because people that want to see it with are not interested, and the people that
it's
I
a no
asked
for me,
them,
dog. Yeah.
It's a no for me, dog. Yeah, that's exactly what someone told me.
So, Get Out. It took me a long time to even see Get Out.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And I mean,
that wasn't even a scary movie.
The thing for me is,
suspenseful.
The thing is for me is I already knew everything that happened.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm trying not to
And that
happen.
helped for me because then I wasn't super scared when the actual scary stuff happened.
Well, I bet you the people that seen it are listening to us right now. They're wanting to see
idiots.
it. Yeah, they're like, you should have seen that. Speaking of stuff I actually saw, though, I meant to say, I watch a lot of, we talk about TV shows a lot at work, and this past weekend I watched a couple different things. I was wondering if you saw them. Have you ever seen the OA?
No, but I've seen people on Twitter talking about it.
It's a crazy show.
What is it about?
Well, it's hard without getting into spoilers because now this is season 2 that dropped. If you haven't seen season 1,
where is it set?
Well, the thing is that what I can say about it is this girl, shows up after being missing for 7 years. But she was blind when she went missing, and when she returned, she wasn't blind. And that's just the initial premise.
That's cool.
And dude, it gets so crazy. What I say about the show is that it's the type of show that they actually take risks on. Their risks are so big on the show that especially with the season 2, they took even more risks. It was you're narrowing your fan base so much so that it's gonna be hard to keep those to the 3rd season because you're taking so many different risks. Someone might drop off because this is a dumb idea, but I like it. It's original, man. So if you like original story, we were watching, what show was that? Manifest. Yeah, it's very similar to
premise.
Manifest.
Yeah, okay.
Something like that, but darker and way. I mean, it's Netflix, so you can watch it. I watched Motley Crue, the biopic, the Dirt movie with Machine Gun Kelly was playing Tommy Lee and stuff.
No.
I mean, it's not the best movie, but it's entertaining. I mean, the movie started off with a very sexual scene, so it's very vulgar. But Motley Crue was vulgar, and the dude that made that movie is actually the dude I think that did Jackass and all that stuff too. So I think it's Jeff Tremaine or something. But, and then what else did I watch? Well, those are 2 big ones that I watched.
Can I tell you about this crazy trashy show that I watched?
Yeah,
that I actually really liked. What is it? It's on Netflix. It's called The Selling Sunset. Have you heard of it?
No.
It came out literally 4 days ago, and I watched it all in 2 days.
That's what I did with the OA.
It's this ridiculous reality show that centers on this really fancy realty firm in Hollywood Hills. And so it's these 2 bald twins who are look, this is our business. And then it's these 5 incredibly gorgeous women who are really badass realtors.
Okay.
Just doing their thing in Hollywood Hills and selling these 4, 5, 6,
$12
$12 million
is it
houses.
Real?
It's a reality show.
Are
So
they
it's
really selling the houses, you think?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, how many
They
episodes?
have real clients, 8 episodes, and they're 20, 30 minutes each. They're
I
really bingeable.
Yeah. I gotta check it out.
It's funny. And these women are getting harassed on the job by these single men who make them show them really fancy houses. Then they don't buy the house and they just ask them out for a drink afterwards.
Oh my God.
It's really weird.
Yeah. I think I want to watch this. It's like I have like
it's like
guilty
perfect
pleasures.
junk, just like
That's how I feel about Vanderpump Rules.
yeah. Okay, it's
I could probably watch that. So no, I watched another thing too on Netflix. The Disappearance of Madeleine McCann.
Nope.
Oh my God, have you heard it? You're familiar with the story?
Nope.
Oh my goodness, dude. I love like the
Netflix
true.
has so much that I just missed half of
But
it.
it's like the new stuff.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's like the popular like stuff they're suggesting. So I like. I don't know, the stuff they push up a lot. I'll try to watch. But speaking of upcoming movies coming out, Avengers dropped their another trailer. And
my
then
God.
You're talking about the poster, right?
Yes, I'm a big in the literally only the past year I've become a big like Marvel fan.
Okay.
And kind of invested
Why
in
in the
this whole
last
thing.
year?
Well, I saw Black Panther.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay, that was good.
Yeah.
And then my friends were like, let's go see Infinity War, and I just saw so many people talking about it.
Yeah.
That I was like, I have an offer to go see it with a friend. Like, why the hell not?
Yeah, and it was
I
pretty
looked it up
epic.
a little bit about what it's about.
I'm the same way. I'll read like
and
Wikipedia.
it was so epic. I was
Yeah.
like really invested
how did
by
they
the
get
end.
all these-
I was suddenly fascinated by all the characters, all their backstories, their relationships, all this stuff. So I kind of did this like deep dive in the past year.
Imagine if you were a comic book fan, like how deeper those things
I know
go.
they really
Yeah.
do, and so that's really crazy. So I'm really excited for Endgame.
Yeah.
And the news is that they
Did you see Captain Marvel?
Yes, I saw Captain Marvel.
What'd you think?
I liked it.
Yeah.
Wasn't my favorite Marvel movie.
Okay.
I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
And it was really good. I can't wait to see what she does.
Yeah,
in
no,
Endgame. It's
I
gonna be
like
awesome.
the way Thor is like. I like this one.
I liked it. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
But they just released these posters,
Mhm.
so we haven't seen anything about the people who got snapped.
Okay.
Who died?
The
basically.
snapping.
Died.
Yeah.
The snapping.
The
Yeah.
snapture.
The snapture. Oh, I was gonna take that.
Sorry.
One.
I didn't know how good you were with the Marvel stuff. Yeah.
But
okay.
we haven't seen anything about them at all. And so
Okay.
they weren't on the original poster. They
Mhm.
weren't billed. And so I was like, gosh, are they going to just like come back at the end? Because
Yeah.
like we know they're going to bring them back.
Yeah.
But they released these individual posters, 32 for every character.
Oh my God.
And the ones that are alive are in color and the ones that died are in black and white.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen this yet.
It's really, really cool. And they're like these really, really sick close up posters of the actors and character.
That's dope.
And,
Yeah, look at
and we
these.
knew most of it, but some of them we didn't know whether characters had died or lived. And so
So they're like talking about like the Black Panther sister.
Shuri, Shuri died.
Yeah.
That she was confirmed dead because she was
Great.
gray, which
Yeah.
I assumed. Wong lived, which is funny because he's the one who just dipped at the beginning of Infinity War. He's like, "Peace, I'm gonna go guard like the Sanctum."
Yeah, yeah.
And then just didn't come back for the whole movie. I just find it so funny that he lived after all.
I
that.
do think like I mean this might be some spoiler alert stuff. I mean I don't really know, but I think like it's gonna have to do with a lot with dimensions and time
Yes,
and
'cause
like
of Ant-Man.
time traveling. Yeah, like
This
whatever.
is not a Marvel podcast, but like I could go for an
I
hour
know for
about
real.
talking.
Well,
about
let's
it.
like I mean that's
Yeah.
pretty cool stuff, but let's keep it moving with some other
Agree.
quick hits because
Sorry, listeners.
yeah, like
No.
I don't know how many people are. I could nerd out all day with you.
same,
Maybe
same,
off
same.
air we'll talk
Yeah,
about
sure.
this. Some stuff has been coming out with Wendy Williams like the last
Wendy.
couple months and stuff.
I
But
know.
I mean, did you follow up on what's going on with her?
So apparently, her husband's mistress had a baby.
Oh my God.
Had a baby, and a lot of I don't know how. No, sorry. Yeah, that's the correct one. Thank you. No, absolutely not.
Okay. Absolutely not.
But I feel really bad for Wendy. She's been through a lot, and
Yeah.
and she's really trying to keep that like not interfere. Have that not interfere with
How
her
do you
TV
feel
life.
about people saying that this is karma for Wendy Williams?
No,
The way she pulls everyone's dirt out into public.
they're celebrities.
Yeah, so is she.
Yeah, I mean, but her dirt can be brought out, but the dirt itself isn't necessarily karma. I think that's kind of cool.
No. But but the fact that she's like a TV host.
Yes.
And that she like this is what she talks about.
I know.
It's hard for her to talk about
it's
other people right
I
now.
know.
Without,
It seems a little ironic,
Yeah.
that she can take it out, but like I think she's.
what she needs to do is the thing is he's
She's
an
mentioned
executive
it before.
producer on the
He
show.
is, but
Yeah.
she's mentioned it before. She said, "I've seen the reports. I'm a hot topic, but just so you know, my marriage is whatever, or my marriage is strong, basically." And showed the ring.
No, it's not.
So she's addressed it, but a lot of people just think that's super ingenuine.
Yeah, of course. Like I just really think that she needs to figure out a way to get out of whatever she's got going on with him because obviously, dude, she's
If she wants to, I don't know. I think it's up to her.
Just had a baby with another woman. That's
Alleged-
her husband.
To quote Wendy Williams, allegedly.
I mean, shoot. I mean, he's claiming it. You know, all the money that he's getting from her is going to like this kid now and her. You know, so
I know. I hope that she can resolve her issues. I know.
Yeah, for sure. You know, the stuff coming out with Conor McGregor was kind of crazy.
That's weird.
Yeah. Well, first of all, he out of nowhere he just retires from the UFC and mixed martial arts, and then like the next day, some sexual allegations like in Ireland came out.
Yeah.
So I didn't really look up like what was happening, but
the weird thing is about the allegations, it's not that it's not the New York Times like published like, oh, we've heard from a woman, blah blah blah. They published that he is under investigation by police or whoever there. And then those charges, I don't know if they were dismissed or dropped or something, but he was at one point at least under investigation for alleged sexual assault.
Well, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people, I guess, can be under investigation and all that stuff, but
the timing was weird.
Yeah. Also, I mean, because he has a wife and kid and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Know, so
it seems I don't know why he would retire. I mean, I don't know anything about fighting.
I mean, he's such a vocal. I mean, I don't either really, but I know he's like, you know, pretty much like the Floyd Mayweather of like, you know, that. So I mean, they've actually fought. So
yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't continue his career. Like I
mean, there's so much money. He'll come back. I mean, it's one of those things where people retire and then like 2 years later they make a return. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, we'll see.
What's it called? So Ariana Grande, you know, is a hot topic here on the podcast, as you know.
You should have a segment for Ari News. I feel like
I know, right?
Veronica
honestly, I
week.
just hate her so much that for the pure fact that I mean, I like her music and stuff. I just like last year was too much for me. Yeah, I mean, you've seen it.
It was too much for her.
You think? She was.
Yes, I think.
I think she was bringing on a lot of it herself. That's what I feel like. You know, for it being such a big year, it's like, girl, if you really didn't want it to be that much on you, like, you know, you might have like stepped back a little bit. That's my only take on it. But yo, I know you're an Ariana Grande you know, for someone that's going to protect her here. You're filling in for V, so I totally respect it. Yep. But yo, she apparently has her Sweetener tour, and she's it's being protested by the media because she's not wanting like cameras at her shows.
So I went to her Sweetener tour in Boston.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay, cool.
So with my friends Sam and Laura. Shout out to Sam and Laura.
Okay, hold on.
Can we get it?
I wasn't ready for the
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sam and Laura.
I know. They let me crash with them in their apartment in Boston.
Nice. That's always a good friend.
And we went to the show, and that was really fun.
Okay. Was it a good show?
It was a fantastic show.
Have you seen another Ariana Grande show?
No, it was my first time seeing her live. She was awesome.
Worth every
Vocals
penny?
were amazing. Worth every penny. Okay, for sure.
And Veronica was talking about actually going to that show, so
yeah, she should. She should. It'll be fun.
She's going to one
but
here.
Apparently, the thing is, you can bring cameras in. They literally said like, we encourage bring your phones in.
Yeah.
But I think the rule is about actual media who are in the like down on the floor
in a pit and
like
stuff.
Maybe photographing for like Getty or something, or for like a newspaper being down there. I think they have restrictions about something about they have to be approved by her before they can be published.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's at least in the article that I read.
You know, it's funny because like I've done shows before, but for like a lot of like acts, but like filming, and a lot of times like the rule at these concerts, they'll be like you can only like get the first 3 songs.
First 3, yeah, I think that's hers too.
Really?
Yeah,
I wonder.
That's normal.
Yeah, but like why though? Like I felt for like old people, like they're just like I don't know, maybe they do their best stuff before they get sweaty and all that stuff.
Maybe, yeah, and they get a little sloppy by the end, and also like the front row doesn't want photographers running back and forth. Like the whole time.
I guess that's a good point too. I always just thought it was dumb. It's like, dude, come on. It's like people are here to see a concert.
Smaller shows, yeah, but
or maybe they just don't want like the good stuff to be captured.
Maybe, but the good stuff is usually the beginning.
Yeah, that's true. Well, there's like they'll wait to play like their biggest
hit
at the end
hit,
sometimes,
yeah. Or like the biggest stage. Yeah, that's true.
But overall, you had a great time at that.
I was very impressed. Great choreography, awesome set list. Really good dancers, cool like setup.
I don't hate on her for like I like her music. Obviously, there's been slappers on here, and obviously she's beautiful and stuff. I just felt like last year she brought a lot of stuff onto herself. So, but let's see. Alex Rodriguez is going through a lot of stuff with Jennifer Lopez right now, and they're saying that they're finding some sexting with a Playboy model. This Playboy model is saying that he's like an horny old man. Trying to get threesomes.
Does she have any? I don't want to I want to believe her, but like, does she have any sort of proof, or is she only saying that
she's saying that there's?
Has anyone seen like screenshots of it or something like that?
Even if there is screenshots, sometimes those are fake.
Exactly.
But if this is true, this is all like we've been kind of reporting on other infidelities on Alex Rodriguez's side.
That other guy was like.
Yeah, that was his like former
teammate or something.
Teammate, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
that was crazy.
Jennifer Lopez is like, damn, this is like,
Has
everything was all.
Has
like,
she commented on it on this recent
no,
one? Probably
I don't
not,
think
right?
she will. But I was seeing like also reports that like he had like a black eye or something one day.
Really?
Yeah, like they were like walking off a plane and it looked like he had gotten hit in the face.
Dang.
So I mean, I could see J-Lo giving him an old one too, being like, "You making me look stupid." So
I really wish the best for them. I hope that that's not true.
Yeah, I mean, J-Lo's been through so many marriages already, so
they're a good couple. I feel like.
Think so?
I think so.
Moving along, Kanye's Sunday services. Have you seen any of these videos?
I've seen videos. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they look so like hype. But apparently this last week the cops actually came because there was like a noise complaint. I don't know where he's been doing these. Like, is it like this?
It looks like the middle of nowhere in California, but
it's
apparently
like Calabasas
not.
or something.
Yeah, it's probably
area.
someone's backyard.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case,
massive.
of course it's gonna get loud.
Yes.
But yeah. So they're saying that might be the last time he does them. He's been doing for like the last like month or two. People have been loving him. Like celebrities have been going to those shows. Like I think they're saying like Katy Perry has been going to them. Obviously all the Kardashians. Tyler the Creator.
Courtney Love was that
Courtney
one?
Love was there. Yeah. So it kind of sucks, but I think this was a good thing for Kanye.
Maybe this will push him back in the studio to
I hope
actually
so.
make good music.
I mean, we've been waiting for Yandi for like a bunch of months since like December. Or even
since
Thanksgiving.
September.
Yeah.
Wasn't like 9/29/18 was like the day that he said?
I'm not sure.
I will
but
always
it's been,
remember that because I was ready for Yandi and then it
yeah,
just
it
never
came.
happened.
I mean, it still talks, but Kanye, like, speaking of him, like, he was supposed to go on Joe Rogan, and now they're saying that, like, he's not even going to do that anymore.
What's Joe Rogan?
You don't know who Joe Rogan is?
No, what's Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan is, like, well, interesting. Like, he's one of the biggest podcasts there are.
Oh.
Joe Rogan is, like, a bald guy. He does, like, UFC, like, commentary. He's a
comedian.
comedian.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
used to host Fear Factor.
I recognize his Twitter.
Oh, my God. I can't believe
yeah.
it.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, he's huge. I'm not saying...
No.
I mean, he's just in my wheelhouse of like things I
Okay.
listen to and stuff,
Okay.
and I'm just into comedy and.
Yeah, it's interesting that he would go on there, but he's not.
No, well, because he's such a big platform at the time. Like people weren't really understanding Kanye, but now it's like kind of so like they waited so long that's kind of far removed and doesn't really make sense. He doesn't need Joe Rogan's platform to blow himself up, but he will use it probably at one point.
Blow
in the
himself
future.
up. In the good way and the bad way.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so Justin Bieber has been coming back kind of in the news lately. I mean, obviously he's been just in the news, not for music or anything, but because of his wife and his marriage and all that stuff. And
which is good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Good news for them.
But it's kind of like been talking about like not coming back to music for a while before he says
he's gonna like hiatus to figure out some personal stuff.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate.
I seen like recently, like in the last 2 days, like him like going back and forth with like people in his comments.
Really?
Yeah, there's like somebody that was like talking about how he doesn't really like what's her name? Haley
Baldwin.
Yeah,
Haley Bieber.
Haley Bieber. Now you're right. Thanks for correcting me. No, he's like is defending her and saying like because like some fan was like he doesn't really like her. He's only doing it to get back at Selena Gomez and all this stuff.
And he responded to that.
Yeah, he was
Why?
like, well, he wanted people to like retweet it. He wanted people to be like, dude, I'm not gonna answer to any more stuff like this, but I just want to let you know if you're a fan of me or you're a fan of like anything I do not write this
then
type
you're
of
a
stuff.
fan of my wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
that's good.
I guess. I mean, that's the thing though. That's what I think like artists like him get so lost is because like they tune in too much to that noise. And the thing is it's like you either have to tune in or you don't, but I don't know. It's
if
just
he
like,
wants to actually take a hiatus, he needs to include social media with that.
Yeah.
Like Demi Lovato did, which I think was a good decision on her part.
What do you think he'd post about though? Because I see him like coming out with a new
I think just like with the
line
comments and stuff and like posting all this stuff, like that's toxic when you're in such a public eye like that.
Yeah, you're right.
And then he's always going to be posting pictures and posting pictures and then getting comments on them, and people are still going to say stuff about his wife and whatnot, and he just needs to tune that all out if he really wants to like
think about it when you I mean I wouldn't know, but I would think like when you get married a lot of things will change, like especially your social media habits, like things you talk about and things you want to do, and so he's probably going through a lot of reform right now, trying to figure out.
But as someone who enjoys Justin Bieber's music, I thought when all that publicity was coming out about his marriage and they did like the Vogue photo shoot, I was really excited that it might be like him launching back into the public and then dropping a single. But
I don't think
we'll have to wait.
Come in.
Yeah, that's okay.
You know what it is though too? It's like a lot of times like as you get older, like music is changing so fast these days that like it's hard to compete with yourself sometimes, like and compete with other people. Like, so other people are coming out with new music, and you know, you have such a high caliber of like a high catalog that it's hard to keep producing that forever.
His last album was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially if you take like time in between them too,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, it's like your sound changes and you might not change with the sound.
But also like he has to evolve to the sound of the public and like come up with something that doesn't sound like every other, you know, pop trap song out there.
Yeah.
Because that's what.
Well, that's why I enjoyed his last album so much.
Yeah, because it felt very new and fresh, but now that's not anymore, and now it's more in like the hard trap beats and that sort of thing. And I think they're gonna try to.
I guess what I'm saying is like you have.
They're
to be
gonna
the
try to turn him
trendsetter.
toward that, and he needs to not do that.
Yeah, and the hardest part about being the trendsetter is like, because like after that, everyone's gonna follow.
He
your
has
sound.
always set trends.
Yeah. So,
That's true.
you know, hopefully he gets it all like straight. I know he's been going to church a lot and stuff, and
That's good.
hopefully Haley's it sounds like she's a good influence on him.
like-
So, moving along, Apple is introducing their streaming platform.
To the surprise of literally no one.
Yeah,
Apple is getting into TV
the-
streaming.
The fact that it's coming out now, though, just kind of is like, dude, you guys are always
like-
so behind in the
I
game.
know,
with
but then they
things.
make the best one, and everyone turns to it.
You think so? So what do you think they're going to be able to do with this one that's going to be so different from Netflix and Disney? And
I did not watch the thing because I'm not super.
Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna end up paying for this unless it's like super good
they were
content. But I don't see how it would be any different. Really,
they were
from what
talking about
I
getting
have
Oprah
already.
involved.
Yeah, they have some big names.
Yeah,
which
so
will be cool.
We'll see if that's able enough to, because like Oprah's documentary, like she was talking after the Michael Jackson one. I'm seeing her like probably getting more into that type of stuff.
Yeah,
so.
probably. Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that. If you haven't heard about it yet, Apple TV Plus is coming.
something.
Another thing to take $10 a month from
I know,
you,
seriously.
or more.
They
And
should loop it with Apple Music. Is what they should do.
they
And
should.
do a joint subscription thing.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly though, they've just been trying to like sell us movies on Apple TV
Yeah.
now. So now it's like you can watch other movies. They should have been done doing this, but and kind of rounding out our quick hits. Jesse Smollett, you know, have you been on top of the news with this stuff?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I
of
saw like,
course.
what came out yesterday.
I know.
It's crazy. They the prosecutors are dropping all 16 felony charges against him, where they said initially that he had falsified a police report and, you know, said that he was a victim of a homophobic attack. And they were like, no, you made that up. And now they're like, no, the charges are dropped and you only have to pay like the $10,000 bond and then do some community service. And there are just more questions than answers, my friend.
What is like your biggest question?
It would be because the police department then came back and said this isn't justice. The police department is standing firm. It's not like there was some new piece of very clear public evidence that like totally exonerated him. It's only the prosecutors making this decision. So I would say, what is it that the prosecutors have or think or know that the police don't?
So
Does that make sense?
Do you think like the prosecutors are being pressured by somebody that has a friend that's a friend,
I don't know.
Or they're threatening to move like the show from filming in Chicago to like somewhere else or something?
Yeah, I want to know why they're not aligned with the police department so much.
Yeah.
And whether that's a thing that like a mistake on the police department side or maybe an error on the prosecutor side.
I was talking about it with some people at work, and like, you know, I feel like it's one of those things where like they've already had wasted so much time. Not like it's not their fault. It's his fault or whatever.
Well, maybe
you know?
not is the thing. That's like the thing. But
It's
time
all
was
stuff
wasted.
sketchy.
Passive
Exactly.
voice.
And they have other things. Definitely that city has more better, you know, things to talk or
especially
to
the police
work
department.
about.
They called that huge press conference
Yeah.
to talk about how they don't like the results of this investigation.
Yeah.
And like,
So, I mean, it's in general, like, let's move on, I guess, to like, you know, other more serious crimes that are happening in Chicago than this.
Yes.
And I don't know, something's still fishy about
oh,
it.
totally.
And I don't know how I feel about this guy. Like, you know,
Well, that's what I thought, and now I'm like, well, maybe not.
do you really think?
I don't know. Initially, I literally, I'm going with what the officials are saying.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
feel
say that
you.
I have my own like
Yeah, I feel
thing.
you.
I kind of just blindly followed
Yeah.
by.
I know.
Saying.
I don't know. Allegedly everything.
Yeah, allegedly
I guess
everything.
that's the worst part is that like we'll never really know.
I
like
know.
watch this dude like flip it into a movie. Like that's gonna be a movie now.
It should be.
Yeah.
Shonda Rhimes, Apple TV Plus, or whatever. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Netflix original.
I know,
for sure.
Netflix maybe, yeah.
Or yeah.
Definitely not Fox.
Yikes moment of the week. We kind of like talked about this
Yikes.
before. Honestly, Veronica talked about it in her little check-in. So, Cardi B, can you explain anything about it?
A little bit.
Okay.
So Cardi B basically
A video came out.
A video was posted
Yeah.
by her
Mm-hmm.
that she tried to use as a defense on herself, but in the video apparently she mentioned that this was a 3-year-old video, but she had mentioned that back when she was a stripper, she had to do different things to, take care of herself, and some of that involved drugging men that wanted to sleep with her and then robbing them of stuff. And then this whole thing came out with like, what? This is like, you just admitted to all these crimes. This hashtag that I think is totally inappropriate. Hashtag surviving Cardi B. I'm like, no, what? Are you like this, Twitter? So that happened.
That's pretty funny though. I think. I don't know.
It's funny to like say once and then not as a trending topic. That means like thousands of people were like hashtag surviving Cardi B. Like this is not on the same level as what R. Kelly is accused of doing.
But I mean,
so now she's quote unquote canceled, but she won't be canceled.
No, it's too late to cancel her, I feel like. But I mean, the issue is that like I think to cancel her, like somebody would have to like be like, she did it to me.
Yeah, and this is the effect it had on me.
Yeah, and I don't think. I mean, first of all, most guys, that's the sad part, are like not willing to come out and say that they, that happened to them. Secondly, what makes this different, like people are like, oh, well, Cosby drugged people and stuff too, and then he's in jail. It's like, it's different because this is kind of like illegal. It's both illegal. Like them paying for sex.
It also wasn't, I don't know if they were paying for sex. She wasn't a prostitute. She was just a stripper.
Well, it sounded like, I mean, she was in a situation where she was like probably back at a hotel room and, that's where she drugged them. Or even if it was at the strip club.
I don't think it was like a prostitution type thing.
I don't know.
Where they were like directly paying for sex. And
I'm
then
not like huge in the strip clubs, but there's a lot of strip clubs that like actually you could just pay them a couple $100 and they'll have sex with you or do like sexual favors.
Yeah.
So I could see it being something like that, like a back room, and
maybe.
And to me, like to be able to like steal from somebody, and like it would have to be probably at a hotel room or something, right?
Yeah, probably. It's also different from like sexually assaulting them after you drug them.
Yeah,
like robbing and like sexual assault are two very different things.
Well, I'm sure there was like some type of sex involved in it, though. Like what I'm saying, like
all I saw is drug and rob them. I don't know.
Yeah, I would just I mean drugging
like in a different way than like what Cosby did.
Yeah,
it's not like it was that.
No. But like to me, like the way I picture it in my head would be like she like would get like back to a dude's room.
Okay.
They would have some drinks. Be like whenever he went to the bathroom, slip him something. Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know if
that
that's
was the
appropriate
time for that. It is.
Yeah, okay. But yeah. So get him back to the room, and then get him going. And at some point they fell asleep. Like, what I'm saying? I don't even think it was violent. I don't think it would be like...
No, I don't think it was violent at all.
So like they would probably have sex or something and then fall asleep. They would be out cold and she would wake up and just steal from their wallet.
I don't think anyone was like sexually violated or anything.
Well, I don't know about that. But still, drugging anybody for any purposes is kind of messed up, right?
It is.
Yeah. So... that's the cancel. That's the cancel it. Like, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the sad part is that no guys would come out. Like, if that happened to me, I would probably come out. I'd be like, yo, I mean, this is time
remember that time Cardi B drugged me? That was crazy.
That's messed up,
Yo, she drugged you too?
Dude, that's messed up, though, because, like, if it was flipped reversal roles, like...
No, but the power dynamic is totally different.
When you're drugged?
Because she came out in everything. I think, because she said that, like, she had to do it to make ends meet. She was like, I had no other option. That's her defense.
That's bullshit.
And so she's doing it for the stuff they had, not like to sexually assault them, which is what like Bill Cosby and stuff did.
I don't know.
It's still illegal. Don't get me wrong, but like,
I feel you.
Allegedly.
I just think yikes. Yikes. And I don't know. Like I might have to like.
I also think V would be a better person to talk about this as opposed to just two men.
Yeah, I feel you. No, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
But I mean, in general, though, I mean, we still can have feelings about it. I think as men these days, like. there's huge double standards sometimes, and there's sometimes like people that'll like pick and choose like the stuff they want to be like double standards about.
Yeah.
And that's why I bring up these topics, and it's nice to be able to bounce it off like another male. Sometimes it's always male female, which isn't as fair, I think. Yeah. But I think to hear all sides, like I think it's cool too. The Cardi B thing.
She will not be canceled.
No, I don't think this will cancel her. I mean, out of all the things that but it is interesting to see like this footage that's been out for a while. It's not like she just said it or anything. Right?
No, the video is old, but she just posted it recently.
Oh, so she reposted. Yikes, yo, dude.
Because it was someone criticizing her for like saying that she didn't actually come from where she said she came from, and she posted this to say like, "Yo, I had to like drug and rob men to like get money." Shoot. And they were like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah. Hold up. What'd you say?
I think I didn't do a deep dive into this issue, but
I don't know. It'll be interesting though. If things could heat up more things could come out. Like, what I'm saying? I've seen people like get killed for less. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was our yikes moment of the week. As far as like main topic this week and Bachelor news, I thought like, why don't we just like jambalaya this thing up and just kind of like, ask you kind of no holds bar questions about, what your thoughts on, the show and, this past season maybe, and a bunch of different things.
Sure.
So as far as the podcast goes, what is it like being a listener and hearing us talk about these topics, and all the way to like now being someone that's on the mic? And
I know it's very weird. I mean, it's not like it's been like super years. It's been a few months. But it's really cool. It's very fun seeing all the behind the scenes. Like, y'all don't know all the work that goes into this. He has like 7 different like cord extensions and devices and like chargers and lights and stuff. Like, it's a lot. It's a big production. So that's a really cool
thing
to
break
do
it down each week and to
I know, and it's all in Sai's living room.
Yeah,
so that's really cool.
Appreciate that.
No, it's been fun.
Yeah. I think it, to me, what's cool is about seeing like how people interact with our show, and then bringing them here is like such a cool experience for me, because like this was just a dumb idea, like it was just like,
hey, let's do a podcast.
Yeah. And so much has come out of like a dumb idea, like me personally, I've changed like through this, but
you talked about that on the 50th episode. I was like getting a little emotional.
Yeah, I mean it means a lot to me, having someone like you to actually listen. It's not like I'm forcing you to listen each week. Like, did you listen or whatever?
No, if anything, it's me being like, I listened.
No, that's what I want. That's what I started this to do. So I just want to let you know that I appreciate that, like straight up. We've talked about this being something about me going on The Bachelor. What do you think about me going on it?
I'm a big fan, and I've told a lot of my friends, I'm like, yo, like my friend at work, like he wants to be The Bachelor.
Yeah.
And then I like explain everything, like tell your whole life story. But I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I think you should definitely try out for, I guess.
What advice would you have for me if I went on the show? Knowing like,
I know that's
the
a
show.
tough one. Knowing the show, I would say have like a thing, and because everyone's like one that they can identify with you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of up to you how you want yourself to be seen. And your thing could be like the super fan who has a podcast.
Yeah.
But I know you might not want to go that route, because then it kind of like comes off as very like cheesy and insecure, ingenuine.
See, it's funny that you bring this up, because I was actually talking to my sister the other night. Shout out to my sister, actually. I don't do that enough, but she listens.
Mine too.
So she was saying, she was like, because I was like, I want to go in there and be like, what's up with like not having a brown guy be the Bachelor? Like someone told me I should just go in like that, but then she's like, wait, you gotta be careful, because then they'll just label you as the brown guy.
That's true. They could do that. You like the token.
Yeah.
I think that's something to bring up. I don't know if you want to make that your like selling point.
Well, what I was telling her was that like I feel like it doesn't matter what they put me as, because I'm just gonna be myself.
Yes, but you need to help them make you something. Okay. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
because like they get tons of people that they have to file through, and so if they can see like you and be like, oh, here's this hilarious guy from Atlanta who like has a podcast, oh my god, that's hilarious, like let's put him in, like something that they can Not just the show, like the producers.
What would it be though? Like, and how would you think I would
know.
explain Future Bachelor on the show? Like, how would I make it through that without becoming a villain or someone that you know how they make those things into?
Oh,
a big,
yes,
you
yeah.
saw what happened this season with Kaylin.
Yeah,
They're like,
she was.
You said you wanted to be the Bachelorette.
I know. Yeah, the sucky thing is you have to go through the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
And so you have to get on the Bachelorette. And I think if you went like the
Well, the thing is, I have shows and shows and shows of me talking about being the Bachelor, so it just would be, you know.
I know. So you can't lead with that. But you could lead with the fact that you have a podcast about it.
Well, see, this is what I'm saying, though. Like, the way I would explain it would be like, hey, guys, I thought it would be funny if I was the first brown bachelor, you know, being a fan of the show.
Yes.
You know, this is like, you know, it was a joke that turned into like.
But now as I've gone
podcast.
on, yes, and you can also tie it into your love life and be like, but now I realize that like I really am looking for love.
I use the podcast to talk about my dating
and it's
life.
not just like and it's not just like the show isn't about you becoming the Bachelor, except for this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just about you know. It's just about
it's a concept,
pop culture, and it's a concept. I think that's a fun way to explain it.
And exactly, like I don't know. I feel like people have never broken. Like I mean, this was probably the first time they've really broken that fourth wall with Colton and Cassie, because like he was like, and I don't mean like just like the wall hopping.
They broke the wall.
No, I don't mean it like that.
They broke the fourth fence.
The fourth fence. They broke the fourth wall in the sense that like you know, they were like, I don't care about the show. Like, you know, I don't care about winning.
And that was refreshing as a viewer.
Exactly. You know, it's same here. But I think I would break the fourth wall in that sense. Be like, you know, come on. You gotta be kidding me. Were you not a fan of this show before going on the show? Like, I'm a fan.
Yeah, make it more like meta.
Yeah,
like
meta.
Yeah.
Dude, so can you explain this word meta to me? Because I've been seeing it and it. Okay.
It's kind of just a placeholder for when like anything is deeper than it looks. And I have friends who went to school in Athens.
Okay.
And they had a group of people who they would call like the meta hipsters, who were like so hip that it was like unconscionable. Like this like little crew of people in Athens, and they literally will call them like the meta hipsters. And like every time they said that, I'd be like, oh, yeah,
I gotta do some
meta.
research on this meta word, because like the interesting part is like I was talking about.
It's more like, you know, you're aware of your surroundings, and so
Okay.
you're not going into, you wouldn't be going into the mansion as like
Trying to pretend
I'm here looking for love.
Yes.
It's more like I am, you know, make it like, you know, you're on the show,
Oh,
and
wow,
you can comment on the show. And I think that could be, it's refreshing. And
I think that would be my angle, because it's funny because we're talking about the OA, and they have like usually a twist at the end, and they were saying that this is a meta twist. I'm like, I think I know what they're
like
talking
Inception,
about.
something inside of
something crazy.
Yeah. But I think if you go on and, I think that's a fun way to say it. Start with like, I had a show called Future Bachelor, but I really want to meet the Bachelorette. Something like that.
Yeah. I forgot. Someone.
You gotta make. I don't know what the requirements are. Do you have to make a video? Or?
Someone told me the perfect thing to say. Actually, I can't remember if it was Veronica or my sister, but it was like the perfect thing to say. But as far as like, that's exactly how I do it. Be like, I have a podcast. I talk about. I think that's what they'll like about me.
Yeah. I think that's cool, and I think they could also like get. I think if they were to do an intro video of you, what would they include in that?
I mean, I do so many
like,
different things. I do music. I do podcasts. I do TV. It's that's what I think about too sometimes. Like, I think that's my biggest problem in life. It's not just with the Bachelors. People will be like, what do you do? And I'm like, I don't know how to explain it, because I do all these different things. What would I be? Like, what would be my title?
Yeah.
Content creator?
I
think that's even too like simple.
One of the girls this season had that, and I was like, what the hell is a content creator?
But I know what that means.
You have to come up with something that you want to be, but or they would come up with it for you.
Yeah.
But I think that could also tie into like your story, that you like do so much and you're looking to settle down and have a more
I don't know. This is all going to come back to bite me in the ass.
I know.
already know it. But
Bachelor producers, don't listen to this podcast.
They're going to.
Don't listen to this episode.
They got to, because now they like are scared. Like all of them are going to turn into serial killers or something.
Oh God.
So.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they do
Or you
huge
have, like,
background checks.
Horrible racist tweets from like 10 years ago.
So so how did you get involved with like The Bachelor and watching it and stuff?
I feel like I watched a season back in high school and was like, or it was The Bachelorette that I watched a season of.
Okay.
And then it got to Paradise and I was like, this shit is weird.
I love Paradise.
And I stopped watching, but that was like years ago. And then I think it was
This shit's weird.
one of the more recent, which came first, JoJo or Rachel? JoJo, right?
JoJo or Rachel? JoJo came before
I feel
Rachel.
like I maybe just because I knew everyone was talking about it, And
Rachel was the one that was kind of crazy because it started getting it's like
Rachel Lindsay.
But the thing is, so this is where like I think why I like it more than because when I started watching it, that's when The Bachelor started doing weird things. Like literally the next season I watched, like I would be looking at my ex and being like, do they usually do this? Like, do they usually? And she's like, no, they never do this.
Oh,
they never.
Weird. They kind of like experimented a little
more. Well, yeah,
more.
there was like with what's her name? See, this is what Veronica's usually good at. But, Caitlyn and they had another girl and they like made the guys choose which one was going to be the Bachelor.
Oh, that was weird.
That was a weird season. And then
I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, and then
it was after that.
Yeah, and then they did one where they brought like Nick Vale back, like, you know, after being on the show a bunch of times and being on Paradise and stuff. So, and then Rachel Lindsay was the first black bachelorette. So it was like they were always trying different things and stuff.
I think,
and then they brought Ari back after like so many seasons.
Yeah, but I think I watched. Let's see. I think it was only because like it became this new cultural phenomenon, and I just like wanted something to watch. I think I just watched JoJo season. I found that it was just like a really fun way to connect with a lot of my friends.
For Ben Higgins, that's what this wolf is named after. Higgins.
Oh,
that's what we call him.
Oh, right, and then
he's time traveling.
And then
too.
she became the Bachelorette after that.
Well, hold on. No, I think Ben came out of JoJo's season. So Ben came out of JoJo's season.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought JoJo came out of Ben's season. I don't know.
I think you're right. You're right. Actually, JoJo. Yeah, you're right. Then who came out of JoJo's season?
No one, and that's when they brought.
You're right. JoJo did
Nick
come out
back.
of Ben's season because he said "I love you" to
Nick
both those
back.
girls.
Yeah. So that's when I started watching. I just found it was like a really fun way to connect with my friends and like more people than I thought were watching it.
Yeah. That's kind of why I started this podcast.
I know. Yeah, and that was fun. And then I never was into the Bachelor seasons.
Yeah.
And so I didn't watch the season after that. I didn't watch Paradise. And then I watched Rachel's season, and that was really fun because I was home for the summer. That summer that one aired, and like I was able to watch it with my family.
Yeah,
and that was really fun because like my sister and my dad, like,
it's a good show to watch. I try to tell people
really
watch along with us.
It's a really fun family show to watch just because you can like. No, it is seriously like.
I feel you.
Just the commentary they provide is
my
so
mom
funny.
watches it now, and we
like
talk about
in all
it,
seriousness, I found like it's a really fun way to like connect with my dad more.
That's what I
like
say.
Because we watched this season together. In the sense that
who would have thought,
right? But it was in the sense that like, hey, Dad, I'm gonna watch this show. You can, and he was like, oh, I'm not gonna watch that show. That's like a trash show, which it is. But then he sat there and watched anyway and commented the entire time and was super invested. Yeah. And I was like, okay, clearly you're interested in it.
I'm glad you brought that up because like honestly,
and my mom would walk by and be like, Colton's not even that cute.
Yeah, that's what my mom says too. But like, you know, that's because like people love this podcast, but then they'll be like, if we talk about The Bachelor, like they'll be like, I usually like fast forward through that part or listen to times 2 or something like that. But the thing is, it's like it's actually like I look at it like there's so much trash TV. So don't act like you don't watch no trash TV.
I mentioned the Selling a Sunset show earlier.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's like, there's other forms of trash TV. Just give it a chance,
as
and
long
like
as you acknowledge it too. That it's not like actually like
you're not like trying to learn anything here. But I actually do learn things from it, which is weird. I don't know. Like I that's why I'm so my fascination with the show goes further than just wanting me to be The Bachelor. Like I really do think that it has like you can learn a lot of things about people and situations and situations that you don't really get to see every day.
People's ambitions and like what they really want.
Yeah, versus, getting like like a bunch of dudes like going after one woman or a bunch of girls going after one man and seeing how like, you know, it kind of helps being in a social world we live in to kind of see like I do know a person that's like that, and you know this person is reacting kind of like how I want to react.
Maybe this is why that person acts that way.
You know, I don't know. It's like a weird like human experiment. So it's kind of like how I kind of go down the path of Bachelor. I would recommend people watching that, and when Bachelor I don't know this. What do you think about this Bachelorette season?
I was not a fan of Hannah B being chosen. We texted about this, but here's my thing. I've said this to a few people after watching what they did on like the finale where she like chose people. I think it could be a fun season if it's produced the right way.
Yeah.
If they come back on the premiere and Chris Harrison's sitting there and he's like, this is the most dramatic season of, I'm gonna be like, that is bullshit.
I know. He even said it this
Hannah
time.
B.
I say that all the time.
I know that Hannah B is not going to have the most dramatic season of the. That's just how she is.
Yeah.
So I think if they produce it as like a fun-loving season of like young people where she's making all these mistakes and has all these bloopers and errors, like her not being able to like know where to stand or how to put a rose on, I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was really refreshing, honestly.
That might be
to watch that. I thought it was
I
thought it was like really cute and like funny to watch, and I think that
it was awkward.
It was awkward.
Cringy. sometimes.
It was
like,
a little bit, but
you're like, oh, but that's what I like about
that's
the show.
why it was funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I think if they produced the whole season like that, where she's like kind of goofy and doesn't really know what she's doing, I think they could be produced funny, as opposed to like their typical, this is super dramatic, blah blah. Because she's not that dramatic.
I like your optimistic.
Yes, I'm thinking optimistically, just because I don't want.
Well, because like most of the time, like the people I watch with, they're just like, no, I'm not going to. And,
yes,
and
yes,
it's like
you
Veronica
are.
and stuff like that. But to me, it's like I do like think like, you know, there was good things about this Colton season. Like as much as like I dreaded going into this, like, you know, people are dreading going into this Hannah one.
Yeah.
Like this Colton season, you know, wasn't the you know the greatest, but at the same time, there was things that I liked about it, like that ending.
Yes, same.
Made me realize. What do you think about like if they like did like the ending at the 3 instead of like at the last 2?
Well, I don't think they should like decide how it should end. I don't think the producer should decide. I think the people should decide, like it was in this case.
Yeah.
I don't think they should, you know, I think in the past when they were forced to do this engagement and, you know, they did this fancy thing on the really, you know, rose petals laid out. Like I thought that was really over dramatized, and
I do wonder how they're going to come back.
And we all knew
with
it was kind of ingenuine. Like when I realized that was Rachel's season, she had just broken up with Peter, and it was this like really, really sad breakup because it was clear that like, you know, they were perfect for each other or whatever. And then I thought, wow, like is it going to end there? Is she just not going to accept a proposal? But we came back from break, and what's his name, Brian, is stepping out of the thing, and she accepts his proposal, and I was like, huh? I thought she like it just felt super fake because I didn't see how she
Even
could.
though they're still
I didn't see how
together.
she could go through an engagement. I know, and they are, which I'm happy with. But it was refreshing to see them not have to do the whole engagement thing.
Yeah.
And I think they should be up to the Bachelor or Bachelorette to decide what they want to do at the
I think that's
end.
part of the pressure, though. That's what makes the show. Like, the pressure makes a diamond. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, speaking of diamonds, Neil Lane was like probably pretty pissed that he doesn't get to do it.
Yeah, my friend texted me that too.
I'm surprised they didn't even do anything with him, like at the just bring him on and be like, "Hey guys, this is the new selection of rings we got this year."
They could have done that. It could have been funny. They could have been like, "Well, you didn't get an engagement, but we still want to have Neil Lane." You know, like Chris could have pulled that off.
So I'm excited for the upcoming season. As far as you being on the show, man, like I really appreciate you being an active
Thank you.
listener.
It's been fun.
And yeah, dude, I want to be able to do this again. Literally, JD lives like down the street
like
from
4 houses down.
Yeah, so I tell him this story, but like literally when you started working, like the next couple nights I was walking back from I think like a bar or something like that.
Classic.
Classic. And you were standing there talking to some people on the street. I was like, oh shit, that's my coworker. And then we started becoming friends like after that. So we're gonna have to hang out in our neighborhood.
I know, seriously.
Fun neighborhood.
There's some awesome places around here.
I've been like literally checking out all the restaurants and bars up and down the street here, just walking all of them.
Around here, so.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Well, why don't we get into our slapper of the week?
Oh yeah.
We you know, another week goes by where it was kind of hard to pick one, but we ended up settling on one.
Yes.
This is an artist I've been wanting to actually preview on this show for a slapper. He goes by Pink Sweats. Have you ever heard of him?
No, I have not.
But Pink Sweats is like he has a beautiful voice and usually just singing over guitar. But he just released this new song called Coke. It's called Coke and Henny Part 1.
Part 1.
Yeah, so we're excited about seeing what the sequel is going to be. But
has Part 2 not been released?
No, I don't think so. This was on New Music. So, but Pink Sweats is like one of those songs that people are playing now for like engagements and anniversaries and Valentine's Day. Like
my wedding is gonna have Coke and Henny Part 1.
Well, I mean, this one, that's why it's more of a slapper than I'm able to usually play from Pink Sweats. But this is called Coke and Henny Part 1 by Pink Sweats, and let's just get into it. You ready?
Oh yes.
Let's go.
Slapper of the week. This song slaps.
Slapper. And it's a snapper too. Let's do it, JD.
Hey.
Coca-Cola in my Hennessy. Girl, I like it when you touch it, baby. Shake it off for me.
Yeah. That was Coke and Henny Part 1 by Pink Sweats, and that was our slapper of the week.
Yes.
You like it?
I did like it.
Yeah,
I would also love like a trap remix of that song.
Yeah. Well, that's the cool
like
part.
Shake It Down for me.
Yeah, I think a lot of times because his songs are so simple with the instruments that people just lay drums and chop it up a lot and stuff. So it's funny that you said that because I've heard a couple of versions of his older songs that I like that people like put beats behind and they like sound like radio hits. So, yeah. So Travis like,
hello.
Hey, new exclusive. Yeah, but guys, let's get into some shout outs. You have any shout outs this week, JD?
Yeah.
Let's get into them.
I guess so.
Who we shout out? You shouted out some earlier.
Yeah, I shouted out some earlier.
Okay.
My other friends who are like my closest crew in college, definitely. So that was Sam and Laura. Hey. And also shout out Morgan. Hey.
What's up?
And Cam and Nick.
What up?
That's the crew I visited in New York.
Okay.
And it was just Nick's birthday on Thursday.
Okay, happy birthday,
we
Nick.
partied in Boston.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's dope. Hopefully they can listen to the show and become fans. Let us know what they think. Having JD as a co-host.
Hey.
Yeah, it's really this past week, my friend Salem, who lives like right up here, I was coming home from work and I was about to go to the gym, and he was like, "Hey, I'm actually about to go to this gym and do this boxing class I've never done before." So I was like, "All right, I'll go with you." So I did this boxing class, and dude, it was pretty hard. Like,
boxing
it was like,
tough.
I mean, I always wondered like how much of a workout it was. And dude, I was sweating so hard. I had like a headache I've never had before in my life when I first started. We were doing like a conditioning, and I was like, oh my God, like what's going on? Like, it was pushing me, man. And so I did it, and I actually signed up for a month of unlimited boxing. So they do it every day, and I'm gonna try to hit it like 3-4 times a week.
You with the gloves and everything?
Yeah, man, the gloves. Like, you got a bag. You're doing combinations. They got dope music playing. It's in a sick thing right on the belt line. You heard of the training room? It's right off the belt line.
I've definitely seen it.
It's
I don't
like,
know if I've heard of it.
It's well, it's like right by this Chipotle in Ponce City up
here.
Okay,
down there.
Like,
Yeah. I know
hitting
that
on right on the belt line. But so I'm gearing up for hopefully trying out for
fight?
this batch. No. Yeah, a fight for the Bachelorette.
I'm disappointed.
I'm trying to work out so I can get on the Bachelorette.
Remember they had that as a date this season?
Yeah, I know. They
that
did
was
have that.
by far the worst date of the Bachelorette
I know,
I've ever seen.
That was crazy. I can't believe they made those girls fight.
It was very uncomfortable to watch.
So yeah, I started up boxing. But with that being said, the guy that teaches the class, his name is B, or I think it's Brian, but he goes by B.
Shout out to B.
Yeah, I wanted to shout him out. I told him, make sure you listen to it. I gave him some stickers and stuff, and I was like, follow me. He followed me on Instagram. So yeah, B, man, I hope you know that your class was so dope. I signed up for the unlimited for the next 2 months.
I also need to give a shout out to Olivia,
who
I think follows you now on Instagram, and we watch The Bachelor sometimes together.
Yo, Olivia, shoot me a DM just so I know that who it is and we can follow you back.
Do it.
I appreciate you. So, dude, thanks again for doing this show with us. I know Veronica is probably gonna hopefully enjoy it. And man, you did great. I feel.
Thank you. I know
amazing.
I could never be as good as Veronica in this chair, but
yeah,
it was definitely very enjoyable, and I gave it my all.
Well, will you be back again if I can ask?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
When? Yes.
All right. Dope.
I will. Sure.
Awesome,
Let me know.
Awesome. Yeah, man. Well, with that all being said, next week is episode 54. And then after that is gonna be 55. And Veronica would say, "That's how numbers work." And then I usually be like, "Shut up." But yeah, I guess I miss her.
Sad, you're like getting emotional. We miss you, Veronica.
Oh man. But so JD, thanks again, man.
Thank you,
hopefully we get to party here soon. Yes. And yeah, check out for next week's episode, guys. We love you. This has been Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
My name is JD.
And we'll see you next week.
Heck yeah.
Deuces. She usually says bye.
Bye.
Future Bachelor Podcast.